I just got the notification for live stream.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Going live right now on
Yes.
YouTube.
I just got the notification for live stream.
Yes.
Yeah. Excuse me.
Going live right now on YouTube.
Just got the notification for live stream.
Yes.
Yeah. Excuse me.
Going live right now on YouTube.
I just got the notification for live stream.
What happened? He's beating. Okay. Okay, let me see. What happened? He's beating. Okay. Okay, let me see. What happened? He's beating. Okay. Hi, Felicia. I think we can start for the sake of our time.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Excuse me. I know that there are some of
Hi,
you still
Felicia. I
joining.
think we can start for the sake of our time.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Excuse me. I know that there are some of you still joining. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Excuse me. Do you want me to hold off until if that's going to be something that could be muted, or would you like for me to keep going?
Yeah, please keep going. I
Okay.
think it's fixed now. I think so.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. We are so happy for you to be joining us today for the fiscal sponsorship presentation. My name is Felicia Haney, and I am a program manager with Give to Africa. And I would like to go over a few housekeeping reminders as there are more people joining on to this meeting today. The first housekeeping reminder is to please be sure that you are on mute upon entering the meeting. And At the end of the presentation, we will answer questions, so please be mindful to hold on your questions until the end of the presentation. But also, if you would like, you are more than welcome to submit your question into the chat box. It will be monitored, and towards the end of the presentation is when we will look at the chat box to see if there are any additional questions. At this time, I am going to hand it over to Mr. John and Maria Phillips for them to do introductions as well.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Felicia. And Victoria, do you want to start introducing yourself, and then I can just go after?
Okay, of course. Hi, everyone. My name is Victoria Phillips, and I am the CEO of Give to Africa. We are very pleased to have you join. Listening in is going to be recorded to share to everyone. So thank you so much for joining. And I know as more people join, we expect more impactful. Please hold off to your question, and will, as much as possible, answer your question as much as possible. So thank you so much for joining. We appreciate it. Yes.
Thank you, Victoria. Hi, everyone. My name is John Kafarire, and I am the program manager, like Felicia, here at Give to Africa. And I am happy to have you join our information session on fiscal sponsorship. I think we should start. So, just a quick announcement. I will be doing this presentation in both English and French for those of you who are French speaking and have some difficulties in English. So if you have any question that you want to ask in French, just feel free to do as well, to do that as well.
Can you give me 1 minute to get the slide up again? 1 minute to get the slide up. I don't know. I can't get the slide up for some reason. My screen is only just showing the YouTube, everything, and it's not getting to the slide. I don't know. Trying to multitask. John, can
Do you want me to share my screen?
Yes,
Because I
please.
think I have it open.
Okay.
And I hope.
Yes,
Let's see that. Let's see if it works.
Okay. I just grant you access to be able to share your screen.
Okay. Can you see it?
Yes.
All right. Let me see if I can go. Presentation. There should be a place to present, right?
John, try the
right
bottom
here.
of your screen.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So again, thank you guys for joining us today. Let me just give you a little bit of the context of Give to Africa, our mission and vision uh, as an organization. So we are a California-based 501c3 nonprofit, and we are dedicated to working towards strengthening locally led development across Africa. And for that, we use philanthropy, technology, and innovation to connect global donors with vetted grassroots organizations as a way of ensuring that every gift creates a transparent, trustworthy, and lasting impact. So we do this because we also believe that African communities hold the solution to their own challenges, and our platform removes barriers to cross-border giving and we amplify the work of frontline NGOs and mobilize resources that help community go stronger, more self-sustaining, and filled with hope. Our mission is to unleash generosity, enabling African communities to thrive, restoring dignity through giving, and transforming compassion into measurable change. Euh, euh, Give to Africa est une organisation qui se situe en Californie et selon la loi et la législation américaine, notre statut est d'une organisation 501c3 et notre mission, au fait, est de nous assurer, en fait, qu'il y a une connexion entre euh, les organisations africaines locales et les donateurs ici aux États-Unis et nous faisons aussi en sorte que ces organisations puissent recevoir des donations sous notre statut de 501c3. Voilà un peu ce qui est de notre mission. This is a little bit of our mission at Give to Africa. Okay, next slide.
Okay, thank you, John. So at Give to Africa, we do have several services. So our services are geared towards empowering African initiatives. So at the top left corner, you'll see that there is a tab for fiscal sponsorship, and this is what we'll be talking about more today within the presentation. But Give to Africa provides U.S. charitable compliance, donor recipient, and financial oversight for African NGOs, enabling them to receive tax-deductible contributions and access to global philanthropic capital with full transparency. We also do program investment, and we collaborate with mission-aligned partners to co-create fund strategic initiatives supporting community-led solutions in areas such as women empowerment, health education, food security, and climate resilience. Our digital fundraising platform is being able to allow NGOs to utilize our technology-driven platform and connect our donors that have been vetted in African organizations, offering secure giving campaign tools and real-time transparency that amplifies the visibility and accelerates the impact of the NGO. And also, we do provide donor-advised services, and we help donors give with confidence by offering personalized philanthropic guidance, regenerating services, and tailored support to ensure the contributions created are meaningful and they provide a lasting change. Next slide, please.
I can translate this for French-speaking organization if they want.
Yes.
Comme le disait Félicia en anglais, chez Give to Africa, nous avons 4 programmes spécifiques. Le premier programme que vous allez voir sur votre écran à gauche au-dessus, c'est le parrainage fiscal. Et c'est de ça que nous allons parler aujourd'hui, principalement. Mais à part le parrainage fiscal, nous avons aussi d'autres programmes comme vous le voyez sur l'écran. Avec le parrainage fiscal, Give to Africa fait un effort de connecter les donateurs et les organisations locales qui n'ont pas le statut de 501 aux États-Unis afin de recevoir des donations et des subventions et nous assurer aussi que ces subventions et donations que vous recevez sont exemptes de taxes, donc sont déductibles des taxes. Le deuxième programme que nous avons chez Give to Africa, c'est un programme d'investissement. Et à travers ce programme, nous collaborons avec beaucoup de partenaires en Afrique, tout comme dans le monde, pour essayer de créer des voies et moyens pour soutenir les communautés locales en Afrique. Et notre troisième programme, c'est celui de donner ou de faire en sorte que les organisations locales ont accès à une plateforme digitale pour faire des levées de fonds. Et avec ce programme, nous accordons à ces organisations locales notre technologie et une façon de connecter les donneurs avec les organisations locales à travers notre plateforme. Et puis, le dernier service que nous offrons est celui de conseil. Et les conseils, c'est beaucoup plus en rapport avec les donneurs dans le monde qui ont le souci de soutenir la mission ou les missions de Give to Africa. Donc, nous leur donnons des conseils et nous leur aidons aussi à comprendre les contextes dans lesquels nous œuvrons et notre mission et les services que nous offrons aux organisations locales. Okay. Next slide. Oh, I forgot that I was the one doing it. Okay, so a quick introduction of the fiscal sponsorship program. So Give to Africa provide fiscal sponsorship for charitable projects that promote our mission to support sustainable development, education, and community empowerment initiative in Africa. And by that, fiscal sponsorship allows organization or group to receive tax-deductible donation and grant by placing a sponsored project under the Give to Africa's tax-exempt status. And this approach offers a more straightforward and cost-effective alternative to establishing a new independent 501c3 organization. By that, I mean, instead of pursuing a tax-exempt 501c3 status, you can partner with Give to Africa, which will handle the management of your donor fund. And as a fiscal sponsor, Give to Africa collects, disburses, and keep detailed record of all project fund and in compliance with grant guideline and federal law, providing regular reports on your spending to grant providers. Legally, Give to Africa maintain oversight and discretion over all donations to ensure they support our mission and meet legal standards. So, avec Give to Africa, nous pourvoyons un parrainage fiscal pour des organisations qui se trouvent en Afrique et qui n'ont pas de statut ou les moyens de recevoir des donations et des subventions aux États-Unis qui ne sont pas déductibles d'impôts. Donc, ce que nous on fait, c'est qu'on permet à ces organisations-là, au lieu de commencer à entrer dans des procédures administratives qui vont vous prendre beaucoup plus de temps et qui vont vous prendre beaucoup plus de moyens, Give to Africa vous fournit ces services-là et vous permet en fait de recevoir des donations aux États-Unis et s'occupe de la collecte, de décaissement et puis de la garde de tous les documents, les records dont vous aurez besoin lorsqu'il s'agira de faire ou de rapporter les taxes aux États-Unis. Donc, nous offrons ce service pour pouvoir en fait permettre aux organisations locales de recevoir de l'argent et puis de travailler sous notre statut de 501c3 au lieu de commencer encore à entrer dans des démarches administratives qui vont vous prendre beaucoup plus de temps et beaucoup plus d'argent. Okay, next.
So why does fiscal sponsorship matter? Well, from GTA, it will provide an opportunity and with partnering with NGOs to enable tax-deductible giving. So you'll be able to gain immediate access to U.S. charitable status, allowing your project to receive tax-deductible donations and institutional grants without forming a new nonprofit. So what GTA is doing is we are providing a streamlined approach to you being able to promote your organization and to apply for U.S. grant-funded opportunities. We will also help accelerate launch and impact of your program and your nonprofit organization, begin fundraising and implementing your mission the right way, removing delays associated with legal registration, compliance approvals, and the IRS processing. And also, we will help to reduce administrative and compliance burden. So you'll be able to focus on your project's impact while Giving to Africa manages your financial oversight, as John mentioned, and donor recipient reporting and regulatory requirements on your behalf.
Donc, comme Félicia était en train d'expliquer, les buts du parrainage fiscal, comme je l'avais aussi expliqué dans le précédent slide, le parrainage fiscal a beaucoup plus d'intérêt et surtout pour les organisations locales en Afrique qui n'ont pas des statuts et qui n'ont pas accès ou qui ne sont pas autorisés à recevoir des fonds qui sont déductibles d'impôts aux États-Unis. Donc, ce que le parrainage fiscal fait, c'est qu'il vous donne directement accès aux donations, subventions ici aux États-Unis, sans pourtant aller encore dans des processus administratifs qui vont vous prendre beaucoup plus de temps. Et avec le parrainage fiscal, vous êtes encore en mesure, grâce à Give to Africa, de commencer à faire la levée des fonds directement. C'est que Give to Africa va faire pour vous. Et ça aussi, ça enlève un peu les charges administratives et puis la conformité. Et puis, ça vous aide aussi à gagner beaucoup plus de temps et à avoir des donations qui sont prêtes pour les rapports et les remplissages des formalités légales et administratives ici aux États-Unis. Et comme ça, les organisations seront beaucoup plus en mesure de travailler directement et efficacement et puis de se focaliser beaucoup plus sur les impacts de leurs projets et laisser la charge administrative à Give to Africa. Uh, so how does this work? The process for applying for the fiscal sponsorship with Give to Africa, the first step would be for you to uh, submit an application that details all the goals, mission, and purpose of your nonprofit organization. And this may include a narrative and project status, a bio of the team, budget and fundraising plan, work samples, and supplemental materials. And then second, Give to Africa will then review the application to determine whether the nonprofit mission is consistent with the tax-exempt purposes of Give to Africa. If the nonprofit is approved, Give to Africa and the organization's executive director would enter into an agreement that provide the terms and conditions that apply to the project use of fund received from Give to Africa. And four, once the above step has been completed, the organization's executive director may solicit funds from individual and or foundations, government and corporate sources for the approved project. Five, as funds are received and routed to Give to Africa, the executive director of the nonprofit may request that some or all of the funds be disbursed to the organization subject to terms of agreement. And six, the executive director is required to make regular progress report to Give to Africa, showing the use of the fund and progress on the project. And last, upon completion of the project, the fiscal sponsorship relationship will close. La façon dont le parrainage fiscal procède, c'est que la première des choses à faire pour une organisation serait de soumettre une application qui détaille les buts, les missions et les objectifs de votre organisation. Et avec ça, ce que Give to Africa cherche à voir, c'est une sorte de narratif et puis le statut de votre projet, nous donner une petite biographie de votre équipe, les budgets ainsi que les plans que vous avez pour lever les fonds, et puis certains exemples de travail que vous avez eu à faire précédemment. Et puis après, l'équipe de Give to Africa va revoir votre application pour déterminer si vous êtes éligible et si votre projet est en conformité avec les missions de Give to Africa. Et une fois que votre projet est approuvé, ici à Give to Africa, nous allons entrer en contact avec votre directeur exécutif ou la personne qui est en charge de votre organisation pour signer un accord qui va vous donner les termes et les conditions de comment procéder avec le parrainage fiscal. Et une fois que tout ça est finalisé, l'organisation, le directeur exécutif de l'organisation peut directement commencer à demander des donations, des subventions auprès du gouvernement ou auprès des autres donateurs qui vous estimez peuvent soutenir vos projets. Et Give to Africa quand il reçoit de l'argent ou des donations et subventions que vous avez demandées auprès des donateurs aux États-Unis, ce que nous faisons, c'est que nous permettons au directeur exécutif ou à la personne qui est en charge de l'organisation de pouvoir demander ces fonds directement. Vous pouvez demander en partie ou vous pouvez demander en totalité et Give to Africa va s'assurer de vous les transférer directement. Et puis, euh, l'avant-dernière chose que nous demandons, c'est que le directeur exécutif ou la personne en charge de l'organisation soumette des rapports et progressivement, en fait, pour permettre à Give to Africa d'avoir toutes les ressources nécessaires quand il faut faire les rapports. Et une fois que votre projet est fini, le parrainage fiscal aussi va aussi finir.
So who is fiscal sponsorship for?
Sorry.
No
Okay.
problem. So who's fiscal sponsorship for? Well, it's designed for our African-focused entities seeking a trusted U.S. charitable partner to receive the donations, the grants, and philanthropic support. It is ideal for nonprofit organizations or NPOs, non-governmental organizations, community-based initiatives and grassroots projects, churches and faith-based organizations, foundations and philanthropic groups, government affiliated programs and public institutions, social impact projects, and mission aligned initiatives. This model supports partners working to advance sustainable development, education, health, women's empowerment, economic opportunity, and community resilience across Africa. So many of you online today joining us may have an affiliation or identify your organization with one of the items that have been bulleted. If you have, like I said in the beginning of this presentation, any questions, please hold them until the end of our presentation, or you're more than welcome to put them in the chat box.
Thank you, Felicia. Ce que Felicia était en train de dire, c'est que le parrainage fiscal est un programme désigné à plusieurs sortes des organisations locales. Et ça, ce n'est pas seulement les organisations non gouvernementales. Et nous travaillons en fait avec des associations à but non lucratif, nous travaillons avec des organisations non gouvernementales, nous travaillons avec des communautés et nous soutenons aussi des initiatives qui sont focalisées beaucoup plus sur les communautés locales et des projets de base. Nous travaillons aussi avec des organisations confessionnelles comme les églises. Nous travaillons avec des groupes philanthropiques. Nous travaillons aussi avec des programmes qui sont affiliés au gouvernement ou aux institutions publiques et nous travaillons aussi pour soutenir des projets qui ont des impacts sociaux et qui sont aussi alignés avec notre mission. Comme Félicia le disait encore, si votre organisation se retrouve parmi ces catégories, vous êtes le bienvenu à appliquer pour notre programme de parrainage fiscal et nous sommes là pour vous aider et vous accompagner. Okay. So we also have eligibility requirements, as many of you may have seen already if you have applied or if you are in the process of applying. So to qualify for fiscal sponsorship with Give to Africa, applicants must meet the following criteria. First, you have to be an African-based organization or project operating within the continent. You have to operate as a nonprofit, an NGO, an NPO, a church, foundation, or community-focused initiative, like we showed on the previous slide. You have to have a clearly defined mission and active programs that align with sustainable development, education, health, empowerment, or community advancement. You need to demonstrate organizational stability, including a functioning leadership team and basic operational structure. Show responsible financial practices with the ability to track program initiative spending and outcome. You have to commit to compliance, transparency, and the responsible use of funds in accordance with the U.S. charitable guidelines. You also need to maintain 2 designated individuals responsible for fundraising, donor communication, and project oversight provide required documentation and provide required documentation, including registration, certificate, leadership details, program description, and financial information. Two things that are not on this slide that I also wanted to highlight are that we also want to make sure that the organizations that are applying to our fiscal sponsorship program have a website and also have experience in grant writing, because we are not writing grants for the organization, but we can also provide advice in case you need them. But you have to have experience in grant writing. And also one more that just came to my mind is that your organization has to have at least 8 years of experience. OK, pour les conditions d'éligibilité, Give to Africa a établi certaines conditions et je vais commencer par les conditions qui ne sont pas sur cette page. Nous voulons travailler avec des organisations qui ont plus de 8 ans d'expérience, qui ont un site Internet pour nous permettre en fait de vérifier les informations et de voir le progrès de votre organisation. Ensuite, vous devez aussi être en mesure d'écrire vos propres demandes de subventions. Une fois que vous avez cela, vous pouvez ajouter ceux qui sont sur la page. Il faut être une organisation basée en Afrique et opérant sur les continents. Vous devez opérer vous devez figurer dans l'une des catégories que j'ai citées dans le précédent document. Vous devez être une association à but non lucratif, vous devez être une organisation non gouvernementale, vous devez avoir des projets qui sont beaucoup plus focalisés sur les initiatives pour aider les communautés locales en Afrique. Une fois que vous avez l'une de ces conditions d'éligibilité remplies, vous pouvez appliquer pour notre programme de parrainage. Aussi, vous devez avoir une mission clairement définie et qui est qui s'aligne en fait avec les missions et le travail de Give to Africa, que ce soit développement durable, éducation, santé et puis avancement de la communauté. Puis vous devez être une organisation stable avec une équipe bien définie avec des bases et une opération bien structurée. Vous devez avoir de pratiques financières qui prouvent que vous avez de l'expérience et qui prouvent que vous avez de l'organisation bien structurée en matière financière. Et puis, vous devez être en mesure de vous soumettre à la conformité, à la transparence et à un usage responsable des fonds que vous allez recevoir et qui doivent être aussi en accord avec la régulation américaine. L'avant-dernier point, c'est que vous devez aussi avoir 2 personnes qui seront responsables pour votre campagne de levée de fonds et qui seront en mesure aussi de communiquer avec des donateurs et de contrôler et de superviser les projets pour lesquels vous appliquez pour le parrainage fiscal. Ensuite, enfin, vous devez avoir la documentation requise pour votre organisation. Et je pense que ça aussi, c'est parmi les documents qui ont été demandés lorsque vous avez commencé à appliquer. Et ça inclut les certificats d'enregistrement, les détails sur votre programme de leadership, et la description des programmes pour lesquels vous appliquez, et puis les informations sur vos finances.
Okay. And so, as we mentioned, excuse me, the requirements, we will also talk about what Give to Africa will provide if you are accepted and approved with the fiscal sponsorship program. So the first thing is, let me see here. Let me move this up here. John, could you please read the top of the screen? I believe it's cut off, the first title.
Yeah, it's legal and financial oversight.
Okay, thank you. So with the legal and financial oversight, as we mentioned earlier, you will maintain and we will maintain a 501c3 status and ensure all sponsored projects operate in compliance with the U.S. nonprofit laws and IRS regulations. We'll also oversee the receipt management and disbursement of funds designated for sponsored projects. And this is very important to remember, as Gift to Africa will not be writing the grants for you, but we will be considering the overseer to help support and navigate you as you build your nonprofit organization. And we will also help to ensure proper financial record keeping and transparent reporting. Under the donor and grant management section, we will receive and acknowledge all donations on behalf of the sponsored organization, provide donors with the official tax-deductible receipts, and administer grant funds, ensuring that they are used for their intended charitable purposes. For the compliance and accountability, we'll conduct all due diligence on the sponsored organizations before approval. We'll monitor your project activities and expenditures to ensure compliance with the Give to Africa's mission and U.S. regulations. The required periodic financial and narrative reports from sponsored organizations. For capacity building and support, we will offer guidance on your fundraising, grant application, and donor relations. We will also provide access to Give to Africa's digital fundraising tools and AI-powered Given platform. We'll promote visibility for your sponsored organization through campaigns and storytelling. And finally, when it comes to transparency and partnership, we will maintain an open communication with the sponsored partners. We'll ensure all transactions are documented and auditable, and we will represent sponsors' projects with integrity, professionalism, and care.
Oh, thank you, Felicia. Comme Felicia était en train d'expliquer, c'est que Give to Africa vous fournit à travers le programme de parrainage fiscal, on peut le décortiquer en 1, 2, 3, 4, en 5 grands points. Le premier grand point, ça sera la supervision légale et financière. Et avec ça, Give to Africa va s'assurer qu'avec son statut de 501c3, tous les projets parrainés sont en accord avec la législation et la régulation fiscale américaine. Et puis, deuxième point, c'est que Give to Africa va faire en sorte de superviser et de gérer tous les reçus et s'assurer de la gestion et du décaissement des fonds que vous recevez à travers vos projets. Et puis, va s'assurer de garder et de garder tous les records, en fait, les records financiers et s'assurer aussi d'un rapport transparent avec les donateurs et avec les organisations parrainées. Le deuxième grand point, c'est que Give to Africa va gérer votre liste ou votre base de données de donateurs ainsi que des subventions. Et par ça, Give to Africa reçoit et reconnaît avoir reçu toutes les donations au nom de l'organisation parrainée. Give to Africa aussi fournit aux donateurs de votre projet tous les reçus qui sont exempts ou déductibles d'impôts. Et puis, Give to Africa aussi gère les fonds que vous recevez et s'assure que ces fonds sont utilisés pour les buts pour lesquels ils sont donnés. Le troisième grand point, c'est Give to Africa vous fournit aussi la conformité et la responsabilité. Et par ça, on conduit la diligence requise pour toutes les organisations parrainées. Et puis, nous faisons en sorte de pouvoir aussi contrôler tous les projets, les projets et les dépenses pour nous assurer de la conformité avec les missions de l'organisation Give to Africa ainsi que la régulation américaine sur les impôts. Et nous demandons aussi des rapports financiers et des rapports des narratifs chez les organisations qui sont parrainées. Et puis le quatrième point, c'est le renforcement et le soutien des capacités. Et par ça, ce que Give to Africa fait, c'est que nous offrons un guide de l'aide et puis de l'accompagnement sur les levées des fonds, sur les applications pour les subventions et nous assurons aussi de vous fournir des guides ou des informations sur les relations avec les donneurs. Deuxième point, c'est que nous vous donnons aussi accès à notre plateforme de levée des fonds digitale et puis, nous nous assurons aussi de promouvoir la visibilité de votre organisation à travers les campagnes et les narratifs de Give to Africa. Et puis, le dernier point, c'est la transparence et les partenariats. Give to Africa fait un effort de maintenir une communication largement ouverte avec les partenaires qui sont parrainés par Give to Africa. Et nous nous assurons aussi que toutes les transactions sont documentées et prêtes pour des audits financiers. Et puis, le dernier point, c'est que Give to Africa représente tous les projets qui sont parrainés avec intégrité, professionnalisme et soin. Okay, so the next one is that this program comes with a cost. So Give to Africa applies a tiered administrative fee to all donation and grants received under fiscal sponsorship. So when your organization received funds that are up to $100,000, Give to Africa retain 5%, and then it also retain 10% if your your funds are above 100,000 US dollars. And what the fee covers, this fee support the full financial and administrative infrastructure required for IRS compliant fiscal sponsorship, and that may include donor receipting and tax deductible acknowledgement letters, accounting, financial oversight and reconciliation, grant compliance and regulatory reporting, and secure fund management and data record keeping. The last one is that it also covered administrative coordination and project monitoring. Donc, ce que je dirais, c'est que pour les organisations qui appliquent pour le parrainage fiscal, ces programmes ne viennent pas gratuitement parce que Give to Africa doit aussi couvrir beaucoup de dépenses qui sont en rapport avec les projets, qui sont aussi demandés par la législation et l'administration américaine. Et donc, Give to Africa va prendre 5% de toutes les donations et subventions qui atteignent 100 000 dollars et 10% pour toutes les donations et subventions qui vont au-delà des 100 000 dollars. Et ce que ces frais couvrent, en fait, c'est que Give to Africa doit s'assurer de faire les reçus, d'écrire des lettres de reconnaissance ainsi que dresser les reçus et les reçus de toutes les donations qui sont déductibles d'impôts. Give to Africa doit aussi s'assurer de la comptabilité et de la gestion financière ainsi que les réconciliations. Et puis, Give to Africa doit aussi s'assurer de la conformité en rapport avec les rapports et les législations américaines. Les frais aussi couvrent la gestion des fonds et les records qui devront être détaillés et puis gardés avec beaucoup de soin, et puis la coordination administrative ainsi que le monitoring des projets.
And this next slide, let's see, this next slide will help you, and we will break down a little bit more so you can understand the fees. John did an excellent job of providing additional information, so we're just going to dive a little bit more into that. And so, as John mentioned, the Give to Africa applies a tiered administrative fee to all donations and grants received under the fiscal sponsorship. So you are now aware with any funds that add up to $100,000, we will retain the 5%. Anything exceeding $100,000, we will retain 10% on all funds. These fees support the full financial and administrative infrastructure required for the IRS compliant fiscal sponsorship. And so these bullet points will actually kind of reiterate what was spoken to in the previous slide. So feel free to review that. But then how funds are distributed or dispersed, if you will, are that the funds will be released according to the approved project. budget, and disbursement schedule. And this is ensuring the compliance and for transparency. And so, what Give to Africa will do is issue disbursements in the project's name or its operating entity, not to any individual director or project leader. We will ensure all spending aligns with the approved charitable purpose, provides documentation for donors and grant providers, so we can both be transparent as far as the communication and what is documented for what the grant said that you were going to do. And we will maintain oversight to meet the federal and charitable use requirements. So with Give to Africa, we will definitely be in support in helping to assist and monitor the guidelines for the grant funding opportunities, any financial timelines or tasks that need to be completed, and we will provide the representation for you and provide guidance on how to submit any required information for Give to Africa in order to ensure that your funds are being dispersed in a properly and timely fashion.
Thank you, Felicia. En fait, cette page vous permet de comprendre comment est-ce que les frais sont utilisés. Et comme je le disais précédemment, la première section de cette page, au fait, reprend exactement ce que j'ai dit de la page précédente. Mais je vais beaucoup plus me focaliser sur les points où on explique comment est-ce que les fonds sont décaissés. Donc, comme Félix a été en train d'expliquer, les fonds sont décaissés en accord avec les projets qui a été financé. Et puis, il y aura un programme de décaissement que nous allons établir, en fait, pour vous. Et c'est là, en fait, de nous permettre de nous assurer que nous sommes en conformité et en transparence avec la législation américaine et puis le partenariat que nous avons entre Give to Africa et l'organisation locale. Donc, Give to Africa, ce qu'il fait, c'est qu'il décaisse de l'argent au nom du projet ou au nom de l'organisation, non au nom de l'individu qui est en charge ou le responsable de l'organisation. Et puis, Give to Africa se rassure que toutes les dépenses s'alignent avec le but ou l'objectif pour lequel l'argent a été ou les fonds ont été accordés. Et puis, Give to Africa s'assure aussi de fournir la documentation pour les donateurs ainsi que les personnes ou les organisations qui accordent des subventions. Et dernièrement, ce qu'on fait, c'est que Give to Africa maintient le contrôle de toutes ces subventions et tout le programme, en fait, afin de s'assurer que nous sommes en conformité avec les exigences fédérales. Okay, this slide shows the responsibilities for the organization as well as the project. Under the Fiscal Sponsorship Partnership, the sponsored NGO or project is responsible for the following. First, fundraising and grant development. By that, the organization has to be able to write their own grant proposal, concept note, and funding application. They also have to be able to source their donor, partner, and fundraising opportunity that support the project mission and approve activity. Second, the organization is responsible for submitting all the request documentation in time and requesting required document from Give to Africa, such as IRS determination letters, W-9 form, compliance statement, and organizational certificate when in advance of grant deadline. Also, the organization ensure all external funding partners receive accurate and updated information. Third, program and financial reporting. By that, the organization has to submit bi-quarterly impact report detailing activities, outcome, and progress toward project goal. Provide timely financial documentation, including receipt, expenditures, and tracking of all project-related income and expenses. And last, The project owner is responsible for tracking all project-related expenses and income and providing timely reports to ensure accurate financial monitoring and compliance. Donc, avec le parrainage fiscal, la responsabilité est en fait partagée. Euh, il n'y a pas seulement que Give to Africa qui a la charge de fournir toutes les documentations ou de prendre en charge tout le travail. Donc, chaque organisation qui applique pour le parrainage fiscal a aussi des responsabilités et cela nous permet en fait de rester dans la légalité et en conformité avec la législation. Donc, la première responsabilité de l'organisation qui applique pour le parrainage fiscal est celui de s'occuper de sa propre levée des fonds ainsi que le développement de ses subventions, de ses demandes de subventions. Et par ça, nous voulons juste dire que l'organisation doit être en mesure d'écrire ses propres demandes de subventions et être en mesure d'appliquer pour ces subventions par elle-même. L'organisation doit aussi être en mesure de trouver ses propres donneurs, partenaires et des opportunités de financement qui vont soutenir leur mission ou le projet. Le deuxième point, c'est que l'organisation doit aussi être responsable de fournir à temps la documentation requise. Et par les documents requis, il y a des lettres que l'administration fiscale américaine requiert qui doivent être aussi fournies à temps. Il y a des lettres, il y a des documents où il faut remplir pour déposer les documents fiscaux. Il y a des documents sur la conformité et puis les certificats de l'organisation. Tous ces documents doivent être soumis à temps et pour nous assurer que nous restons et nous demeurons dans la légalité et dans la conformité, pardon. La dernière responsabilité, c'est les rapports de programme et de finances. Et par ça, chaque organisation doit être en mesure de soumettre 2 fois le quart du mois, le quart de l'année, ça veut dire une année à 12 mois divisé par 4 et chaque 4 mois, 12 mois divisé par 4, ça fait 3. Donc, chaque 3 mois, l'organisation doit être en mesure de soumettre 2 rapports qui détaillent les activités, les résultats ainsi que le progrès des projets financés. Et puis, l'organisation doit être en mesure de soumettre des documentations financières qui comprennent en fait les reçus, les dépenses, ainsi que les salaires et les dépenses qui sont en rapport avec les projets financés. Et finalement, le responsable de l'organisation est responsable pour pouvoir au fait suivre à la lettre ou suivre avec détail minutieusement toutes les dépenses et les salaires et les soumettre à temps pour s'assurer que les rapports sont précis. Les rapports financiers sont précis et en conformité avec la législation.
And now to acknowledgement and publication communication guidelines. All online printed or promotional materials mentioning Give to Africa must include one of the following statements. So this is after you have been approved and an MOU has been signed and we will begin our partnership. Project is fiscally sponsored by Give to Africa. This project has been made possible in part by the sponsorship of Give to Africa with funding provided by name of your funding source or another approved acknowledgement mutually agreed upon with Give to Africa. These guidelines ensure clarity, transparency, and proper representation of the fiscal sponsorship relationship in all public communications.
OK. Comme Victoria était en train de l'expliquer, Felicia était en train de l'expliquer, pardon, une fois que votre projet a été approuvé et que vous avez reçu de subventions ou de donations, il y a des directives de reconnaissance et de communication au public qui sont requises par Give to Africa. euh, tous les documents en ligne ou imprimés euh, doivent mentionner Give to Africa comme étant le partenaire qui vous a soutenu et qui vous accompagne dans le projet. Et cela inclut le premier point, soit le projet doit clairement dire ou signaler que le projet a été fiscalement parrainé par Give to Africa ou ces projets a été rendu possible en partie avec le parrainage de Give to Africa et puis avec le fonds accordé par, et puis vous donnez le nom de l'organisation qui vous a accordé les subventions ou les donations, ou un autre projet, un autre, un autre, une autre reconnaissance approuvée mutuellement entre l'organisation et Give to Africa. Et ces directives permettent au fait d'assurer la clarté, la transparence et une représentation exacte de la relation du parrainage fiscal dans toutes les communications publiques. So we have these questions, and I know many of you might have questions, but I will, for the sake of time, I would prefer to maybe skip this or take questions from you if you have some right now, and if you think that there is anything else that maybe we might miss or we don't have, we haven't responded to, you can shoot it to us in email. So, il y a des questions que nous avions prévues, mais pour gagner beaucoup plus de temps, j'aurais préféré qu'on saute cette page et puis prendre les questions de la part de l'audience. Et s'il y a des questions que vous avez ou qui n'ont pas été, pour lesquelles vous n'avez pas obtenu de réponses à cause du temps, vous pouvez toujours nous envoyer des emails et puis nous serons là disposés à vous répondre. And I think that's all we have for you today.
At this time, we can switch over to look into the chat box to see if there were any questions. And we are also opening this time for any questions if anyone would like to come offline and ask their question. So, John, I'm going into the chat.
Me too, yeah.
Thank you, John and Felicia. I did answer the two questions that was in the chat, but if you want to shed more light or if anyone has any question, they can unmute themselves and ask the question. But the first question we had is, when do you sign a kind of contract or MOU with a sponsor organization? That is one of the questions we had. And another question is, would these fees be paid when the sponsorship is approved? And I did answer that question that no, it's the fee. The question we have is really around the fees. That is not until you get a grant. You've been awarded, your organization is being awarded a grant, or the project is being awarded a grant. That is when the fee is the grant is being paid. That is when you pay the fee. There is no fee for physical sponsorship. There is no fee whatsoever until the grant is awarded.
Thank you, Victoria, for that clarification for our participant. I can answer the question about the MOU, and I think it's point 3 of the application process slide. So it says that you don't sign the MOU until your project is approved, right? So when once your fiscal sponsorship project has been approved, then Give to Africa will sign the MOU with the executive director or the person in charge of your organization. And I hope that answered the question.
Yes, so organization that's been approved will be notified in email, and they can then we'll move it from there. We have someone raising up their hands.
Yes.
Yes, please go ahead.
Hi, good
Hello.
evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Yes, when is the close off for the application? I haven't opened, I saw that you sent us the link. I haven't opened the link. So when is the closing, or there's no closing, it goes out throughout?
The closing of the application is December 28th. So it's closed December 28th, but we're going to announce by January those organization that has been approved, 28th of this month. So the application has been up since the first week of December. So we have almost a month to fill up the application. So it's closed by 28. And when you look at the link, it's already there that the closing dates for the application. Thank you. That's very important too.
We also have a question in the chat box. Do you open a funds account in the names of the fiscal sponsored organization?
I can take that. That's a very good question. So we don't open any fund accounts. As a physical sponsored, when you're writing a grant application, you mentioned that you're a physical sponsor by Give to Africa, and you include, you always see some application, they will say additional documentation. They wanted to see your MOU with your physical sponsored organization. All of that, you can include it. So when the grant is being awarded, the grant comes to Give to Africa. So from there, you'll be notified by the grantor, and we will also be notified. And that is when, the transaction take place. We send the money, the fund straight to or the organization account, not individual account, like Felicia and John rightly said. We send it to the organization account for you to carry on with your projects.
Hello.
Thank you, Victoria. Yes. Does someone else have a question?
Yes. Hello, how are you?
We are well.
Yes, thank you very much, team Felicia, John, and Victoria. I think this is a wonderful work you are doing. I've been longing to meet a team like this one of yours, a charity organization based in US, so that we can partner with. However, I'm wondering, because when you are looking into your areas, I know it might be there, but just for clarification, in your areas, you talk about sustainable development, education, health, women empowerment, economic opportunities, community resilience. And I'm wondering, I don't hear peace building pronounced loudly. And so I'm wondering, is the peace building organizations also in this area? That is one of my concerns. Then two, I have several concerns, so just allow me to raise them up. Two, in our areas in Africa, maybe some of you are coming from Africa, you know that we ride on others' back. So maybe you are one organization, and there are like 10 or 15 organizations which are also working on your back at the community grassroots organizations. Some of them are not registered fully. Some of them are registered, but they don't have some documents. And so we are working in a consortia form. could that also apply? Then another one is that could the Give to Africa organize some roundtable meetings one-on-one if maybe you have done a partnership with an organization? So then maybe the two people we're talking about, the fundraisers from that organization, can meet people who are funding them in the US. I think those are what I wanted to ask. There's one which I think it is there in the what people have been asking: how long is the contract? If we sign a contract today, how long will it last? Thank you.
Do you want me to take that, Victoria?
Yes, please.
The contract that we signed for the fiscal sponsorship, and let me actually share again my screen because I think we also mentioned that in the process. So can you all see my screen? So the agreement that we signed with the organization on like point 7 mentions it. It depends on like the length of the project. As soon as the project for which you guys are getting funded for hand, that's also the end of the relationship, the fiscal sponsorship relationship. I don't know if that helps. So I think all of this will be mentioned in the agreement that we sign once the project is approved, and that will also take into account like the duration of the project, and it should be also mentioned in the MOU that we'll be signing with you.
So that is well said. Yes. So let's say you have a timeline. You want to build a school, and you have a timeline that in 3 years, this school, we wanted to build this school. That is the length of the physical sponsorship for that project. So if you wanted to dig a well in your community and you have a timeline for that, that is the project. Maybe we decide to sponsor, you put in your project. That is, and as soon as the well is done, and that is the end of the physical relationship. So, but there is an accountability. That means every year you give us an update for us to file a tax because it's required by the US. So our physical year for Give to Africa is from January to December. So every December, every January, we take new projects, and every December, all our physical sponsored organization give us an update of what is done. Like I said, maybe a school, you just lay the foundation. This is the amount of money you've gotten. You give us all the reports of what has been done on the projects. So that is the accountability on your own side. So for us to file a tax, and we send a tax receipt to your organization. You mentioned also peace. Yes, the peace projects, we take all organization, like we've rightly said, we take all organization in as much they meet the eligibility. They are NGO, they are non-profit, they are churches. So if you fall into any of these categories, and I will encourage you to submit an application, whether you are in peace building, working with women or children. Please submit your application. We look into all the projects, we look into all the organizations that meet up the criteria that Felicia and John has rightly said, and those are the organizations we will consider for the physical sponsorship. So irrespective of your project, in as much you meet up the eligibility, we will consider all application. All application will be considered. And you also mentioned that the physical sponsored organization, how do they meet? How do they get funding? From government. So we kind of have. I wouldn't say it's robust, but I would say a little bit, help for our physical sponsor to kind of help them to see where to get most of them already have sponsored, already have grantors, but we help them to shed more light to where they can find grants and that they can qualify for. So they look into some of those database, and we also, try as much as possible to meet monthly, but now we've turned it to quarterly. It's kind of like a round table where we all, the physical sponsor organization, talk about what is happening, where what is working, for them, how the grantors has been helping, or what they need help with. Really, our help is really to the compliancy, and to grant physical sponsorship. We don't write grant application for them, but we are team, we are partners. So as much as possible, we try to motivate, encourage, and also to share resources that will help them as much as possible. I hope that answers some of the question you asked. Is there any other question you have that we haven't answered?
Okay, thank you. Indeed, you've answered. But I think there's one. I'm satisfied with what you've answered, and I think there's one which I was talking about. Maybe like me. I'm sorry, I didn't mention my name. I'm called Oringo Amomo. I'm working with the organization based in Kenya called Chemichemi ya Ukweli, and in this organization we are helping other grassroots CBOs or organizations. And in the recent past, there's one aspect which we introduced, and we called it participatory grant making process, which I think it's also like economic opportunities for these groups. And the groups are there. So the little resources we have, we also build their capacities, and then we give them that money so that they can help us do the same work we have been doing in the communities. So in this order, we are having more than 10 or 20 groups. So my question was, could it be possible when we are applying as an organization, we also apply with an idea that we also have some groups which we can also share what they are doing, or we just apply as an individual organization? That one I think has not been answered. Then another one was that if maybe an organization have signed a contract, and so we are still in agreement, could it be possible for that organization, maybe for you, to organize a one-on-one or a roundtable meeting for fundraising for the same organization? So then the people you are saying that they will help us fundraise, if there are 2 or 3, could come or do a Zoom meeting with other people who are likely to fund them. So I think those are the 2 which has not been answered. Thank you.
I think I can answer, Victoria, for the first question in reference to applying for this opportunity. We strongly encourage organizations to apply on an individual basis. When it comes to the opportunity of holding one-on-one sessions, that may be something that could be looked into, but because we are working, this opportunity is focused on fiscal sponsorship, we will want to work with that entity, the CBO nonprofit organization, on an individual basis. And then if there are other opportunities for a discussion where it's a collaborative effort, there's always those possibilities, but this will be focused on an individual basis for the organization. I hope that answered your first question. I'm not sure, John or Victoria, if you could provide some additional insight on Mr. Oringo's second question.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, John. I think Felicia, you just answered what I wanted to say. So, John,
Oh,
please.
Yeah, I was gonna say for the one-on-one, I think that's something we can always look into because we haven't really discussed that internally. It's something that we can always see how feasible that can be and how helpful. And also it will depend on honestly, I think it would depend on uh, how much the organization really want to connect with us if they have issues or if they're having concern and they really want to connect with us. It shouldn't be a problem, but I think it's something that we can always look into as a group and come up with ideas. But I think for the first question, Felicia did, she pretty much said everything that I was thinking about.
Thank you. And just to add to that, the physical sponsorship is more relational. You're relating with us, and it's more you're a partner. You become our partner because now we share the same approval that the government of United States, the recognition that we receive here in United States, you share it with us. So is that, and that is why we wanted to be careful in the kind of organization we work with, so that we can, because here in US we report on everything, to the government. So we work based on the individual basis, individual organization, I mean. So not collectively. The other program that we have is our fundraising platform, YEDA. If you have group of CBOs, you can encourage them, and I'll put that on the chat. And some of you have that, account on it. You can encourage the CBOs to go, open an account. It is free for NGOs. It is free for all the NGOs in Africa. So you can encourage them to open an account on it, and to have if they will have a fundraising page for themselves that they can use to share on fundraising. On that, by next year, by the grace of God, we're going to, start talking about, that was also going to start talking about, how to use that to fundraise, one-on-one. We're going to, that's going to be another department entirely. But for physical sponsorship, it's a bit more close relationship, and that is why we're choosing the organization we're going to be working with more closely.
I believe there is a hand raised. Please ask your question.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you so much. My name is Ali. I'm from Rwanda. I'm working for an organization called Hope for Good Life. Thank you so much. I appreciate this presentation. It is really helpful. Thank you for Victoria. Thank you, Eric and Mr. John. We really appreciate your presentation and the clarification on what you do as the organization helping other entities from Africa to get funds under your sponsorship. I would like to know what strategy do you use to promote the organization under sponsorship to ensure that you can access to funds, despite of maybe displaying the profile of the organization on your website and social media. Do you have the strategy to promote the organization so that can access the funds? Thank you so much.
I don't think I understand the question. Felicia, John, do you want to take on that?
I was going to ask him to please repeat because it was going in and out. Could you, sir, could you please repeat your question?
Thank you. I would like to know if you have strategies to promote organizations under your sponsorship to ensure that they can access to funds.
Okay, you're saying that do we have a strategy for promoting organization that is being physically sponsored so that they can access funding? Is that your question? Is that your question?
Yes, please. That is
Okay.
my question.
Okay. Thank you. So, there are couple ways. Like I said, the physical sponsorship, um, the main goal of physical sponsor is to provide that leverage for our physical sponsored. When you want to write some grant application, some foundation will not necessarily give you the grant because you don't meet some code, some US IRS tax code. So what we are doing is to provide the opportunity, the legal framework for you to qualify to be able to get grants. That is the main mission why the physical sponsorship exists. So every other thing like helping to promote organization, helping to spotlight organization. As partners, we're going to list physical sponsor on our websites, and we're going to, do a lot of things together, inside that can help promotion, but that is not our goal and objective. As partner, we just want to help. Our main goal is to make NGOs in Africa very competitive like their US, Europe counterparts, so that they can also have an equal chance to get grants and to get foundational support for their organization. That is the main goal for the physical sponsorship. Every other thing is not like, oh, it's a must for us to do, but out of the fact that we are partners with we are also an NGO ourselves. This is what we do. We just want to work alongside our partners to highlight those. So I that is how I wanted to answer the question, because I don't want you to walk away to say, oh, Give to Africa is going to help us get money. They're going to help us get funding. They're going to promote us. They're going to do everything. All we need is to apply and make sure that they accept us. I don't want you to walk away having that feeling. That is why I wanted you to, understand the goal and the purpose of physical sponsorship.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your clarification.
Welcome.
Thank you. There are two questions in the chat. The first one is I believe, from Yusuf Abdi. How does it take to be approved? I'm going to say, were you trying to ask how long does it take to receive a response back if you've been approved? If that is the question you wanted to type in, the response to that is a decision will be made in January, and then the organization will be notified. If that's not the question you are asking, please come off mute.
Oh, maybe is he asking the question about the requirements to be approved? Because if it's about the requirement, I think we have all that information as well on the website, and we will be sharing this slide again with you guys so that you can also see the requirement. And the decision will be made, like Felicia was saying, based on the requirement that we have for fiscal sponsorship. I don't know if that also answered.
Okay. The next question is, was somebody coming off of mute? The next question is, can one organization be fiscally sponsored by 2 fiscal sponsoring organizations?
I will take that. Well, can you hear me? Okay. So it's not possible to be sponsored by 2 physical sponsor organization in United States. It has to be one. So now, depending on what, I hope you understand that physical sponsor, it does not mean that they are giving money, but they are giving you the leverage. So it's you have one EIN to use. So you cannot use 2 EIN, otherwise your project, when they put it in IRS, will be flagged, and that means that might disqualify you from getting funding in the future from any organization in United States. So you cannot be sponsored by 2 organizations, because every organization has EIN that has been approved, and when you put that for one project, and you use one project and you use 2 EIN, that is a flag. In fact, they will not approve you when you do that. So but what you can do is, let's say you have like 2 organizations, or you have 5 projects, and with Give to Africa, you're only working on one project. Let's say the school, and then another organization, take your organization, or maybe land they want to buy. So that is 2 different projects, but that also you need to be careful, because one organization can only sponsor one organization. So I don't know how that will work, but physical sponsorship is only for one organization at a time. So I'm going to look into Facebook to see question on Facebook.
Oh, okay. And if there are any other questions, please feel free to come off of mute, or you can use the raise hand, and we will be able to answer your question. Or feel free to use the chat box as well, too.
Okay, we don't have any question currently on Facebook. Anyone trying to ask a question or putting a question in the chat box?
No, not yet.
I think that is about all the question that we have. I wanted to thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much for attending. Special thanks to the team, John and Felicia, for a wonderful presentation. Thank you so much for your time. Those that are able to join there, we're going to send the rebroadcast to everyone. Is also streaming live on Facebook, so you can go to Facebook to go watch it out. Thank you for joining. Thank you. We look forward to reviewing your application. Let us know if you have any question. Let us know if there's any so we wish you happy holiday, Merry Christmas. Thank you for all the wonderful work you're doing in Africa. We thank you so much, and we look forward to partnering with you. We'll talk again. Thank you so much, and have a good evening. Thank you all. Bye for now.